So it's a good morning in the Pilates studio. Feeling a little bit dark this morning inside the studio, so I'm just going to see what happens if I add a few more lights, so bear with me. The lighting isn't always as it could and should be. Let's see if that helps. Obviously it's dark outside, and I appreciate that actually in these moments it's changed some of the lighting effect in the studio. I've only just seen myself on the screen. So we're ready for the workout, and can you hear me? I am here. I just nipped off to more lighting. Today's workout is day number 50. No, it's not. It's video 51 with day number 9 of our series. You can see I'm wearing the taste colour of a glute band. The thighs are already activated, and the workout today will be largely our Matworks version with the glute band. We will have a standing start. If you've no glute band, that's fine, as we know, and also people like Margaret by all means use a little blue ball or a ball for a lot of the abdominal work that we do, even your standing squat starting place. So it's a good morning to Diane, to Claire, to Susan. Oh, I think I may have missed some names. Anyway, the 50 Club is up and running. Hello, Anne. With you all the way, and I'm with you all the way. Zaki, great to see you in the room again. Our venue has stayed the same. The only thing that's changing in this venue is everything you can't see is being already remodelled, ready for a safe return to Studio Life Pilates with social distancing in place. Good morning, Jane and Claire. So it's what day is it? It's Thursday. It's Thursday. The truth is I'm a little bit relieved for the cooler weather. It makes life a little bit more easy to do a workout in. So the cool weather's nice, and I actually think the potter plants that we have, we can only have potter plants because we have no real garden, they're going, oh yes. So we're not watering them twice a day now. We're able to just let them have a bit of a drink from the rain and rest from the sun. If you're in with me today, you need your glute band. If you don't have a glute band for whatever reason, then straightforward, work without glute band or with a little ball between your thighs. Again, the people that don't have a glute band tend to know how to adapt it. Hello there, Carol. Happy Thursday to you all. The studio should appear bright enough for you. I'm just looking at my square behind me thinking it looks quite dark, but that's life. I can't do anything about it right now. Lindsay, hello. Hello, Lindsay. She was with us on Zoom last night. She was with Facebook Live yesterday morning. You would be blown away, people, by how many of you have done 50 videos. This makes 51. I was saying to Tom this morning, because I have nothing better to discuss at 5 a.m, shall we see if we can get 70 done before the studio opens? So that's my goal, to get 70 videos. Morning, Annie. 70 videos all achieved by the time we get to safely open with a smaller group suspected happening. Okay, I will start how we will open, and then ultimately you'll get a very definite date when we'll open. But in some ways it's quite exciting. Make sure if you can't hear me, let me know you can't hear me. If there's anything wrong with the setup, that's what these moments are about. They're about welcoming you in and making sure we have a strong connection. With all of that in mind, I think it's time we got going. Mena, hello there, you've just joined. I appreciate some people will join a tad bit later. Let's take ourselves to a standing position. The start place here is going to be a little bit more less structured and more rhythmical. The first thing to do is get everything level, obviously. Get your breath going, and the band at this point doesn't want to be massively low nor massively high. Just a place where you know it's there. You know that your band is there, and getting your breath going. Inhaling, exhaling deeply. Put your hands here. Find the squat without rotation. Remember, it's bottoms back, knees back, hips back, hinging, and exhale and inhaling. Find the core connection, know where your heels belong. We're just going to do a couple more. It's your warming up breathing. Good morning, Diane. And other people I can't quite see now because I've got my glass off. So I get a bit of a haze of lettering. I think I can see a shadow of a Sarah Butler maybe on the screen. You're doing your squats, you're waking up the breathing waking up the movement. I'm deliberately staying here, doing gentle squats. I'm not at my maximal, allowing you to find your place and find your space in the connection with the Facebook Live. We're going up and down, and we're making the breathing muscles work. This is just like lying on the reformer doing footworks. It's just that you have to push your own body weight continuously to make this happen. The next time you go down, stay. If you've just joined us, don't worry, stay here. Put your hands on your knee joint, nod your chin in. Pelvic tilts to get the mobile. Exhale to flex slightly. Make sure both hip bones are level. Breathe in and send the seat backwards. Exhaling. Pelvic floor navel to spine. Time to tune in and inhale back into your neutral. Last time, breath out. Both hip bones want to flex simultaneously. Breathe in and breathing out, stay in your squat. From there, let your arms hang. We're going full roll down. Now we include the chin to the chest. The rib cage flexes over the rib cage to breastbone area, and down you go. Let your head hang, breathe in and out. Exhaling now, stretch the legs and bend them, pushing the hands to the ground if you can, and don't tuck your bottom under. 2 more, adding a length to the hamstring and an activity to the glute and the abs. The next time your legs are bent, breathe out, tuck your bottom and roll your spine all the way up. This is where it becomes a little bit more rhythmical. I'm just taking it to a side tap. If you want to feel for the band now, it leads you. Push the thigh against the band. Don't think of your foot going from side to side. Think of the thigh band, stretch and tap, stretch and tap. So my thighs push against the band. I don't really mind what you do with your arms, except that you keep some kind of alignment as you do this side tap, side tap. Now this move might be quite small because some of you have a really tight band. Because I do this too many times when I use the band, I've got a slightly bigger band to allow me not to fatigue and damage my poor little body. Okay, we've got this side tap. If you want to add a little bit of rhythm, you can add a little bit of a lilt. So you've got the sitting back, the breathing rhythmically and being light through the feet. Remember the rule. The rule is let the band lead the way. When you're doing this side tapping, it's not the knee joint you should feel, but the side bottom, side thigh. People feel the knees when they lead with the feet and not with the quad. Lead with your thigh, thigh, thigh. Okay, bring that back to base so it gets smaller, and we're going to take it to a knee lift. So we take it up and up. Again, be intuitive rather than forced. If you can use your breath, feel the thigh pull against the band. Don't try and lift the leg too high. So my leg lifts because I've got long, strong hamstrings. Part of my posture time. I didn't create them myself. Your leg can be here. So if your hamstrings are shorter, then you'll have a smaller knee lift. Because if you do a full knee lift, you'll find you're tucking your bottom under. Okay, people, a little bit of playing. Pull the knee across. Pull the knee across. Can you see that? A little bit of a twist. Again, if that's too intense, keep it lower or just turn in and in. I'm not trying to keep the body completely facing forwards. A little bit of medial rotation. It's hip mobility, not pop mobility. Couple more. And then go back to your knee lifts in a central way. In other words, more parallel. Get the breath going and let that go. Final warm-up is in turnout. This is where you will start to use the band more. Remember the rules. If your band feels too tight, then you take it up to your pelvic area, crossing the lowest part of the glute. From here then, your sumo squat. Find the bottom back and pull forwards. Inhaling down you go. Exhale to push the ground away. And we're going to slow things down in preparation for actually me teaching a little bit more calmly. All right, inhaling, sit bottom back. Breath out to push back up. Your thighs pull against the band as you abduct the legs and you stand. Go down and stay. Staying here, remember the thighs are feeling the band pull into its biggest resisted area. Here we go in the roll down. So arms are here, spine is lengthened. First roll down goes chin to chest and roll. Stay down here as long as your heels are with each other. Ready for the stretch, so straighten and bend. Exhale to keep your chin to your chest. Keep the lower back flat as it were, and make the rib cage movement, the core connect, the legs straighten to stretch, and bend 2 more, 1 more. Stay with bent legs, put your hands on your knees, and roll your pelvic position through the spinal alignment. Roll your shoulders, and up we go. Ready to go to the floor. Once you're on the floor, you're going to lie down, ready for abdominal 100 type versions. Lay the spine down, keeping a mind on everything being aligned. I'm using a head pad because we are going to do quite a bit of abs work. When we do the bridge, you might want to take the head pad away, but right now we're going straight into your abdominal curl. So big breath in to prepare. Exhaling, pelvic tilt. Stay in the pelvic imprint of your lower back and keep breathing. Make your arms strong and keep your chin to your throat as you set the breath up to core connect the abs. Now, if you did the workouts yesterday as intended, there should be some residual sensation of core connection, which is muscle strengthening going on. Keeping the imprint then, keeping your feet down, breath out and curl up. As you curl up, the band isn't being used at all. Your thigh bones just know it's there, and you're going to start the breathing in 2, 3, 4. Legs are down, feet are flat, pelvic imprint. And breathing out 2, 3, 4. Deep in, and it's that smiling breath out. Inhaling, smiling breath out. Last time, inhaling, and smiling breath out. Roll your spine back down, and you're back into neutral. We'll do the hip lift bridge position. So big breath in. On the breath out, press your hands against the ground as you roll the hips up and gently push your thighs out against the band. Breathe deeply in and exhale to get the rib cage and the lumbar spine lower back down, and you're back to base. Thigh bones are parallel, there's less tension on the band. Exhaling, core connect, rolling through the spine. Expand the band as you come up. If you want, you can take your arms up and behind you to create a stretch through the thoracic area simultaneously. Breathe deeply in, keep your feet flat. Thighs are pulling against the band as you lay the spine back down with the breath out, and flow your arms forwards again. Big breath in. Find your heels, find your imprint to roll and to reach your arms backwards or sideways. Now stretch the band and stretch the band. You're staying up here, exhaling to pull against the band. Inhale. If you're not using pelvic floor, navel to spine, you're likely to twist at the hip or drop at the hip. Whichever way, this is a side, bottom, side, thigh bone connection. You'll be on the sides of your feet almost. 3 more. And last 2. Core connect, breath out, smiling, and keep the thighs stretching against the band as you lengthen your spine into the lumbar, into the sacroiliac area, and you're back to neutral. Exhale then, everyone, tilt to imprint and stay. Moving on into the 100 position, roll up through your head, neck and shoulders, and then pull the legs up into tabletop. No tension on the band just happens to be there. Breath in. Exhaling, push your legs away and find your beating arms. In 2, 3, 4, 5 and out 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, if it's in your neck, you may want to roll up, breathe and roll up. I personally think it's harder to keep core connected, and if you're rolling up and down and your breath in is keeping the abdomen still in and away from your clothing, then you win the prize. All right, last time, either holding up and beating or not, doesn't really matter. What's going to happen now is bend your right leg, stretch your left leg away. Everyone curl up, have a big breath in, and slowly, and I mean slowly, pull the other leg in and pull the other leg away. Breathe in this shape. Exhale, navel to spine. Breath in just here. Breathe out. Breath in just here. So your slow motion,
belly button to spine. Now the further you pull the kneeling position to your chest, the more you deprive your abdominals of working. If you don't curl the shoulder blades off the floor, you don't get your obliques. So we're going 2 more, 1 more, pull both knees in and head, neck and shoulders down. Take your feet straight to the floor and have your heels not too close to your bottom, but certainly more or less under your knees. We're doing our single leg bridge. Exhale, core connect. You're in neutral. Pick up your right leg to tabletop. Have your hands ready to press against the ground with your heels. As you're exhaling, you're going to hip lift, breathe in and pull the hip down. To get this hip lift, which is like a glute brace, the hinge at the hip opens on the journey up as you push your knee forwards and press your heels down, and it flexes on the journey back down. You're going up on the exhale, down on the inhale. Up on the exhale, down on the inhale. 2 more. Keep the core connection and keep the effort right into your hamstring glute. Last time. And down you go. The leg down, center the body. Check the pelvis is in neutral and level from left to right. Pull your leg into tabletop. Remember, if it's too intense on your neck, you take your blocks away. Exhaling then, press the hands to the floor. Inhale and pull the bum cheeks down. Breathe out, pick up your knee in your mind. Push 1 knee forwards, 1 knee up and pull back down. So as you stretch the band, you can feel almost that sense of the thigh working on the leg that's in there and tabletop, and the back of the thigh working on the leg that's pushing you from the ground and lowering you back down. Same timing on the journey up and the journey down. The journey up and the journey down. All right, you're going to let that go. Exhale, curl up. Put your right hand behind your head. Put your left hand to the either back of the knee, but don't pull it in. And then stretch out the right leg. Inhale and pull it back to a touch. Exhale, stretch it out. Breathe in, pull it back to a tap. Exhale, inhale and back. You should be mesmerized with your ability to continuously pull the navel to the spine to the floor, and the breath muscles keep you flattened away from your clothing. 2 more. Last one. Pull the leg in, switch hands and stay. There, are you ready? Set up your alignment. Inhale to a tap. Exhale, compress those abdominals. Inhale to a tap of the toe. Breath out. Resist any twist. The lower your leg goes, the more you're going to work the hip of the leg that's moving away. And 2. And you've got 1 more. And pull both legs in. Take your feet down. We're going back to bridge, but we're going to keep switching legs a bit like we've just done. So exhale, lift and lower, lift and lower. Up and down. Up. It's like you're walking, but you're feeling the leg push away and it hinges. Press the ground, pull the knee up. Press the ground, pull the knee up. The aim is to get a kind of rhythm going without us twisting or a misshapening out of the pelvis. So keep your breath. The feel of the pickup by pushing through the heels. Find your abdominals to keep your hip bones connected to your rib cage, connected to your thighs that are working, or your legs that are moving. 4, 3, and 2, and last one, and allow that to go. Breathe out now, roll and curl up and pelvic imprint. Check both knees are level, come back to tabletop. You're in imprint. Take the legs into your frog, you know what's coming. Breathe deeply in. Exhaling, push those legs away and breathe in, come back. I can't emphasize enough how much You need to watch where the legs go, keeping a trajectory that's absolutely diagonal from the pubis to the heel. Inhaling, exhaling, and the feeling of imprint in your lower back, simultaneously breathing out and lengthening out through the legs and the inner thighs. Last two. Last one. Do not stop here. Bring the legs back, they're parallel. Bring one leg to the ceiling and send one leg away. You're now into scissors. Breath in. Exhale slowly. Reach the legs away from each other. Big breath in. Exhale. Feel that the breath out allows your legs to actually move. Exhaling. Big breath in. Nose to knees. Exhaling. Inhale. So if you look at my legs, they're dynamically energized and straight. My chin's to my chest. My crown of my head's reaching. And it's called scissors. We're slowing it down because when I see you do this on Zoom, it looks like cockroaches trying to have a day out. So the legs want to be long, energized, and the pull of the leg here is about just lengthening the hams. Last two. And then pull those legs together, lay the spine down. From that position there, we've got one more sequence. Are you ready? It's a oblique crisscross. Put both hands behind the head. This is a bit cruel, but that's life. Take one leg, take your left leg if you want, and have it straight, but not to the floor. Pull the other leg in and start here. Big breath in. Exhale and cross. I'm going to suggest you stay still to breathe in so that when you switch legs, you're not rolling like a beetle on your back. It should be identifiable as an exchange of one leg straight, one leg bent, one armpit over, and you're rolling from the tip of the shoulder blades, not rolling your hips. 4, breathing. 3, remember to flex the ribs upwards and upwards and over. Last time each side, and pull your knees into your chest once more. Well done. From there then, you're going to come over onto your side. In getting to your side, we're going straight to our side lying positioning, but the best way to do that is to look at where your heels are on a line, notice where your hips are, and then you're ready for coming down to side lying. This is going to build into quite a big move. The pelvis is stacked from bottom to top with the gap underneath the floor, waist on the side lying floor position. Get your breathing going. Exhale, you need to go with asthma and hay fever. It's a bit rubbish at the moment. Breathe. Exhale and wheeze if you need to. Inhale, lower. We discussed every time you're in anything side lying, this hip bone here, which is the sort of side of your pelvis, isn't allowed to twist, turn, move. And the only way you'll achieve that is to think through the pelvic floor, navel to spine recruitment of the oblique. The other way of working really well here is with the glute band. Now, Margaret, if you're using a blue ball or anyone using a blue ball, you would squeeze the ball and release the ball. And that would give you some abductor work in a different way, but in a good way. Now stay with your knee hovering and stretch the leg out. You've got your bottom leg still bent and your top leg is reaching. Don't be afraid of having a look. Breath out then and slowly lower the leg down to circle it. Down, forwards, down, upwards, forwards, down. I've got my leg in flexion at the ankle and the rules of the breathing. Think of your breath out as an abdominal workout. The thigh bone feels the band, and that's how you end up with the thigh bone articulating, circling, whatever you want to see it as. Within the hip that's stabilised. Change the journey of that circle. If you've been in flexed ankle, by all means point. But don't be mistaken that the foot leads the journey. The thigh that's connected to the band leads the movement. The challenge for the move is about pelvic stabilization. In other words, it's all about your hip. It's actually not about your side muscles. The side muscles are responsible for moving the leg, but the core breath muscles responsible for stabilizing to make you stronger and more aligned. Let that be your last one, and you're coming straight onto your hands and knees. Your hands and knees position, all fours. Check that your knees are parallel, fist width apart, and spread your hands so that your fingers and your thumbs are separate digits. Crown of the head reaches. The first position here is to take the leg out sideways and pull it back in. Breath out, abduct the leg, and inhale, slow motion, tap it back down. Think of pushing the ground away. Your right leg is moving out sideways, which means that your right hand and your left knee are the core connection. The other hand, your left hand, could even go just to a pinpoint. You could even take it away. If you've got great connection, it's a trunk stability action. The next time your leg comes back, leave it just hovering the floor before then taking it heel to the ceiling, and then pull the knee down. Breathe out, push the floor away. Hamstring curl, and again go to the glute band at the back of the thigh feeling after you've done the breath out, core connect. 4 more of these. Breathing in, shoulders away from the neck. 3 more. Big dominant breaths. So the exercise isn't the dominance, it's the breathing muscles making sense of a moving limb and a stabilised joint. The next time the knee comes down, stay and you're ready to switch sides. I'm going to change the view just so that you can see clearly what's going on. Exactly the same setup. Exhaling, shrink the tongue. Imagine pushing the ground away with your left hand armpit and your right knee. As the left leg, slow motion, opens and closes. The hinge joint stays. The pelvis stays absolutely true, making sense of the trunk stability. Your abdominal wall pulls away from your clothing. If there's a sensor, it wouldn't feel as though your belly drops on every inhale. It shrinks, even with the breath in. Last time with the abduction, and are you ready for the hamstring curl? If it helps you to go light through your right hand, then sometimes people get more feedback about not overusing global muscles rather than core muscles. Breathing in, shoulders away from the neck, breathe out, push. Inhaling, fold at the hip. The feeling that you're pushing the ground away with your knee, the right knee, and the left hand is the purpose of the movement. It's your last one. And there you have it. Okay, you're now ready to go on to your other side. So make sure you are on your other side. Side lying. Knees stacked, one on top of the other. Neck aligned with the spine. And your hips and heels know where each other is. The underneath leg is heavy. The waist is off the floor. Big breath in. Exhale then, and you've got your clam. Inhale and back. If it helps you, you might want to put your fingertips just on the inside of what we call the iliac crest, the bony point that sticks out. Here is the landmark. So the oblique fibres, when you use the pelvic floor, should fire up, and you feel them all the way here, creating an internal corset. As the abduct happens, that's really dominant, okay? Now, if you don't use your core breath to core connect, then you'll find your thigh and your hip bone move together, and it ends up as a non-Pilates activity. Next time, lift and lower and extend the leg away. Your leg's now strong, lengthened and reaching. As you start the circling, exhale. No one ever has 2 sides the same. So if you're on your best side, notice how and why it might feel differently. If you're on your worst side, go back to the breathing. And if you know that your pelvis is naturally extended, in other words, people like Sarah Butler, the pelvic tilt is fundamental. And then for everyone, that feeling of using the band for the movement of circling rather than the foot really leads the way. Take it to tiptoes point if you've been in flexion and change the journey. And be conscious that as your leg goes behind you, your hip bone can't follow it. Your waist is off the floor on the side you're lying. The leg is pushing out of the thigh, out of the hips, so the thighs lengthened. Last two, neck should be relaxed. Last one, and let that go. You're now up onto kneeling. So kneeling up, make sure both thigh bones are level. Level off your clothing, level off your shoulders. The breathing pulls your pubic bone underneath your hip bones in your mind and underneath the navel. Have your arms reaching here, breathe in and out. On the breath out, slowly flow backwards, reach for your heels and inhale, flow forwards. Breathe out, navel to spine. Keep your eye gaze straight ahead. Just two more of these. Staring straight ahead. One more. And let that go. Ready for your side bend. So the band is helping you work sideways stabilisation. So in having it there, you're actually getting some feedback even in a static shape. Side bending then, the exhale, here to the shoulder, elbow, armpit, down we go sideways, big breath in, no twisting. Breathe out, pull up on pelvic floor, navel to the spine, and the opposite side of the obliques pull you back up to upright. Inhaling, exhale, and over we go. Over, over, over. Stay, feel the lengthening out on one side. Shrink, core connect, and up you go again. None of this should go anywhere near your lower back or your sacroiliac joint. If it is, then you're bending not from your rib cage, but from your lower back. And that really matters. So the biggest issue is you've got to go ear to the shoulder, pull this armpit down, and imagine your rib cage creates the circle, leaving everything from your hip bones straight. Okay, and that's that warmed up. We're going to now do something more intense. As you go sideways and sideways, be careful not to look at the screen because I'm actually at an angle. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And as you go down, you feel this hip stretch, and then eventually let your hand go to the floor. In here, just by doing the pulling of that kneeling leg that's further away from your other leg up and down, you're already activating the abductor in a bigger way. Next time you abduct here, stay and put that foot even to the floor, finding your heel. We did this in, I think last week, deliberately, doing it again now because we've done lots of shoulder strength. Find your shoulder blades and draw them down the back. On this side here, the waist wants to cinch in even more. So where I told you to feel, push through a little bit of chub because you flex, you've got skin mass there. Big breath in. Push into the leg that's furthest away and see if you can lift your knee and then lower it back down again, obviously the kneeling leg. Big breath in, people. Exhale, smell the breath out and shrink. Press through your armpit, press through your foot and come back down. If your shoulder ends up by your neck, you will fail at this. Big breath in. Imagine you're about to lift the leg as you breathe out, and then lift the leg and put it into that shape. There, can you see how I'm bent here? I'm lifted up, and then breathe, pull against the band and pull the leg back. Two more, breathe, conscientious. Push through the heel and the hand and into the band. Breathe, lift up here, go and press the ground away, not with your cap of your shoulder, but with your armpit oblique. And then pull that leg back. We're going to do one more. Big breath out. Get all of your chub gathered between your armpit and your hip bone. Feel the pushing with the outside of the foot of this straight leg, and then slowly pull that leg back and elegantly find yourself upright. Go to kneeling, big breath in and nod the chin, roll down. As you go down and your hands can reach the floor, bend your elbows and crouch into a counter stretch for your lower back. In this counter stretch position, keep breathing, inhaling and exhaling. 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. And then tuck your bottom under to roll the pelvic position back through the lower back, through organising the spine. And up you come. Make sure your band is level. Make sure your knees are level. Ready for the other side. So to lean, find the side bend. You'll feel an increasing length here. If at this point here, lower back, your bend has happened in the wrong place. Now start to reach for the floor and abduct the leg. If you want to look down at the hand that's on the floor as you get into your obliques, breath out. Remember, even here, the feeling of pushing through the navel to the spine as you press the glute band into resistance is what it's all about. Now push and reach the leg. Check the heel is level with your kneeling leg. Never assume both sides are the same. We kind of know that, don't we? Big breath in and out. On the next breath out, pull your shoulders away from your neck. If you want to turn and look at your underneath hand, you can. Breathe deeply in. Press your hand and your foot to the floor and let that knee hover and let it come down again. Big breath. Exhale, shrink. Pull the knee off the floor and allow it to go back down again. If you've got the strength, by all means this time, pull the leg into that position there where you've got your single arm plank. You can be here or here, it doesn't matter as long as the shoulder that's slightly twisted, not the lumbar. Big breath in. And stretch the leg out. Big breath out. And pull the leg back. Big breath in. Exhale. Stretch the leg out. Big breath in. Exhaling. And pull the leg back. You have 1 more. Armpits, ribs. Let the leg go. Pull the leg back. Do not collapse. Reach your arm. Breathe. And slowly find yourself all the way back and then pull yourself to hands and knees. Final position for you, all fours, and don't have the all fours position too big. It's a definite box shape rather than 3/4 press up by any stretch. Stretch out your hands again. We're going to create symmetry and have your knees together and your feet together. Big breath in and out. On the next breath out, shoulders away from the neck and pull your chin to your chest. With the chin to the chest, the lower back isn't bent. Then we breathe out to hover the knees, pushing the ground away with our feet and hands, and up you are. Make sure both feet are really level and keep your rib cage pulling right into your navel. Keep the chin to the chest and now lower the knees down, watching them lower and push them up and away again. Inhaling, thighs are tight together. Chin to chest, exhale and push. Inhaling, exhale and push and stay, and then press your heels down to the floor. If you need to pull your hands further closer towards your heels, feet even, to get them flat, then do so. In this position here, keep your chin to your chest and push your seat bones up, away from the heels as the heels go down, stretching right into your calf muscles, keeping the arch of the feet activated, inner thighs, chin to chest. People, tiptoes now, bend the knees, bend the rib cage, down you come. Take your feet flat as it were and reach your arms away. With your arms reaching, your toes are pointed behind you, your shins are flat through your ankle to your tiptoes. Shoulders away from the neck, hands are as wide as your armpits are. You can pull forwards, bending the elbow, and push back, breathe. Exhale, pull forwards, and back. Slide through the scapula, and you can go as far forwards as you want, but do pull your elbows back, and think of the chest coming forwards and back. So my spine shape never changes, and you could end up all the way to here and back again. All the way into extend and back again. Now that you understand what you're doing, take your knees wider, so now I feel the glute band, but I'm going to keep my heels where they are. They could even squeeze together. You go back, the spine has not tucked the bottom under. The nose is pointing in the direction of the journey. Exhale, bend the elbows, and here you go. Heels to the bottom, inhale, and back. Are you ready? Exhaling. As you come down here, pull your heels to your glutes, breathe in, extended spine, and breathe out and back. In we come with elbows bent, back we go, sitting bones to bum, and opening the hip, opening the chest. This time, walk your hands back and take yourself into a rolling, rounded lower back. You're breathing deeply in and out. It's your reward time, and you've done your activity. So on your next breath out, tuck your bottom under and recover your composure and bring yourself up to kneeling. The last activity will be explored on Zoom and maybe broken down. I've just realised it probably wasn't that coherent, especially as my sound was going all the way down to the ground. So abandon the band. Allow you to finish your session. So there are people in the room that I didn't realise. That's wonderful. Hello Liz and hello Rach. Hello Leslie, and I'm sure many others. Thanks for joining me again today. It was video 51, and we will aim, before we can physically open in real time and real studio settings, we'll aim to get 70 done, okay? That's assuming July sees us being able to open in some way. Lots of love to you all. Stay well, stay safe. I do believe that health permitting, that Tom and Tanya will be here tomorrow morning in the same place. Okay, people, have a great life, have a great day. Be really excited about what you can do with your COVID confinement. Goodbye from me.